Picture-perfect conditions at the Henderson Bowling Club for the 2008 Trust New Zealand Open, and you're about to see the women's pairs final. Interesting final here, the two Ks, Murphy and Moran, who knocked out the #1 seeds up against a more local pairing.
Yes, the international experience of Kay Moran represented Scotland. Karen Murphy from Australia should be too strong, but don't write off Reen Stratford. She had an excellent semi-final win over former New Zealand international Sharon Sims.
Now the thing here, we've had quite a lot of wind during this Open, and the pairs, does it make any difference to the way the women bowl?
No, it shouldn't do. We're in a fairly closed arena here. It'll only be down at grass level. It shouldn't make any difference to the bowls.
And rink speed?
Around about 18.5, 19 seconds, very quick.
All right, well, let's see how quick this one is. The 2008 Trust New Zealand Open Women's Pairs Final.
It's an all-international clash at the Trust New Zealand Open, the Women's Pairs Final. Australian international Karen Murphy and Scottish representative, but now Australian-based Kay Moran. Up against them is the Dutch-born Hetty Bolscher, along with Scottish-born Reen Stratford, who both play out of the Newland Club here in Auckland. Welcome to the Henderson Bowling Club for the final of the Trust New Zealand Women's Pairs Final. With me is there no better person to give expert analysis on such a game as New Zealand's own gold medalist in pairs competition, the World Bowls gold medalist in Joe Edwards. And we thank you, Joe, for coming with us today to help us out with our play on the women's final.
Yeah, no problem, Terry. Yeah, it's a bit of an honour to be doing comments for this game. It should be a really good one. They've both knocked out some really good teams on the way through, so we're in for a treat.
They certainly have knocked off some very good teams on the way through, and if we can just give you their lead up to the final, it was Reen Stratford and Hetty Bolscher who won their quarter-final game against Maria Rigby by 17 points to 7, the Australian Maria Rigby, and then went on to win the semi-final against our own Sharon Sims by 19 points to 16. And of course Karen Murphy, who beat you, Joe and Val, in the semi-final game, 16-8, a convincing win to Karen on that occasion.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Terry.
And then, of course, defeated her own club mates or her own teammates on an international stage, Lindsay Armitage, in the semi-final by 18 points to 8.
Come on.
In the black attire, delivering her second bowl, is Hetty Bolscher, and she gets the applause from the crowd here on a fantastic day at Henderson. Absolutely wonderful. There's been a slight breeze come over a little bit earlier this morning, but settled down now, and at green level there shouldn't be too much effect on the bowls. 18 completed ends to be played, each bowler having 3 bowls each. Is Kay Moran playing with the maroon bowls, and through the gap she went. Well, very good team combination. Karen Murphy, Kay Moran. But let's not write off the locals.
No, that gap didn't look big enough for a bowl to go through, but it's running pretty quick out here at the moment. I think Murph said to me before that it was running about 19.5, so with a bit of play on it, she sure to get a bit quicker too.
Yeah, certainly so, Joe. And the Starweed Greens here at the Henderson Club, a magnificent complex which has got 3 natural surface greens and 1 artificial. They run very quick, the Starweed, once the sun gets on it. As Karen Murphy in the blue. Also with the maroon bowls and the red disc. Delivering her first bowl.
Like a line. And hard. Stand up. Go inside.
Yes, we could hear from Kay Moran there. Good line, just a little bit too much weight. And the black bowls from Reen Stratford. So it makes it easy for us today. We've got the maroon bowls up against the black bowls. You can see there the beautiful setting of the Henderson Green, the alleyway. It's sort of like a 10-pin bowling alley, isn't it, Joe?
Yeah, it certainly is. It adds to the atmosphere, and it's a really cool feeling to be involved in a game like this. The crowd's really close. They've got music in between ends, and adds to a bit of a carnival atmosphere, which makes the players feel a lot more relaxed.
As Karen Murphy's on the drive, looking for some connection with the
pretty
jack or the
close.
bowl. She's pretty close. She got the edge of the jack, and the first end is over and done with. Well, it's not. Actually, we replay the first end. The jack went outside the boundary peg, and the end is killed, as we say. Yes, Joe, of course, you'll be playing singles final here later on in the month, and you'll be just getting a good view of it today as to what it may well be like when you have to come and play on it.
Yeah, she's a pretty prime seat to be sitting on, watching what's happening on the rink. You know, who knows what it's going to be like when I play, but you know, it's good to get a feeling.
And you were up against an Australian as well.
Yeah, I am. You know, I played against her in Pennants last year when I was over in Australia playing for Marylands, and no, she goes pretty good, and a very nice lady, so should be a good game.
And of course, we're referring to Lisa Prideaux, who Joe meets in the final of the singles event, which will be showed in early January on Sky Sport. Replay of the second end, or replay of the first end. Kay Moran, diminutive lady on the mat, representing Scotland, of course, in the World Bowls, which were held in Christchurch earlier this year.
Great shooting. Well played.
And we can see why. The maroon bowl nestling in about a metre, just over a metre behind the jack. Some classy players here today in this final. Karen Murphy, Australia's top woman bowler. Has been to New Zealand on numerous occasions, played in the New Zealand Open last year. This is the second year the event has been held, and always a good, keen competitor.
Yeah, she's certainly got the runs on the board with results over the last 6 or 7 years. Great player and great ambassador for Australia.
Good. Handy.
First couple of 3 or 4 ends, the players just settling down, sorting each other out, getting a feel of the green. They have had a couple of trial ends before the commencement of play, but they still just takes a little bit of time to settle in. Perhaps some nerves hanging around.
Yeah, it is, and if you haven't played with the cameras and that on the big booms, it certainly is a little bit unnerving to start with. You get used to it, but yeah, it's pretty hard to start off with.
Lads. Good track again. Pretty good to there. Good shot, matey.
Encouragement from her skipper, Karen Murphy. You see her there. You see Hetty Bolsher on the mat, delivering her third bowl. Oh, dropped too much weight off it, it's a shocker. Dear me, she was very heavy with her first 2 bowls. They were out of the picture, and coming with the third, reduced her weight, but penalised severely.
Yeah, I think it's you know, when you do play a heavy ball with your first one, you do tend to overcorrect it, and it's seen line perfect from Hetty, but yeah, just overcorrected a wee bit too much.
Yes, well, of course, on a green running at such a quick pace, the room for error is, you know, you don't just need to change that weight too much at all. That's 3.
Yeah, it's 3, and there's not a lot to aim at, so it's a dead draw for Marine, I think.
Marine Stratford, of course, with bowls in her blood. Her father played for Scotland, of course, and encouraged her to participate as well, and she represented Scotland in athletics at a very young age, and held the world age record in high jump at the 14 years old, so she's certainly got a great sporting background.
I find a lot of bowls players certainly do pick it up if they have played other sports before, with their hand-eye coordination and everything and the weight control.
Yeah, well, she tells us she now loves to venture into skydiving, scuba diving, bungee jumping and all those other challenging activities.
Thrill seeker, eh?
Well, there's not too many thrills for her at the moment. You
No,
can see
once
the
again,
four maroon bowls, they're all bunched together, Joe. They're all shots, they're all counting at the moment, and Reen Stratford with perfect weight with her 2 bowls, but just struggling to find the
just
green.
that overcorrection again. It's easy to trap to fall into, really.
Karen Murphy, her final bowl on the first end. That's 5.
Better give me a nice big foot.
It's a huge, possible huge start for the Australians. Pressure on, Reen Stratford.
Yeah, big bowl for Reen here, especially after holding 1 in the last end with it being called by Karen Murphy. To drop a 5 here would be a not a good start for them.
She's pushed some weight onto it, hasn't she?
Yeah, she has.
Oh, look at it, it's going down right round her player. That's nerves. 5 shots it is. What a magnificent start for Karen Murphy and Kay Moran in the New Zealand Trust Women's Pairs Final. They scored a 5. They're off to a great start. Remember, there's 18 ends to be played. And Kay Moran and Karen Murphy, well, they're making every post a winning post. Kay Moran, Joe, you perhaps just while she's leading off here, she was at the World Bowls in Christchurch. You may be able to give us a little bit of a rundown on her performance down there.
Yeah, from memory, she led in the pair with Margaret Latham, who's a very well-known Scottish women's international player. And I think, by my memory serves me correctly, they went through section play in both the pairs and fours without losing a game, and they both lost in the quarterfinals, I think. So, yeah, bad time to lose a couple of games.
Yeah, certainly so, but she's no mug at the game. Getting through those qualifying games without losing one. She's better than what that last bowler's
yeah, she certainly
done.
is. Taken a year out from the Scottish side this year to have a bit of a look around Australia and feel a bit of the warmth on her back. So, yeah, playing a bit in Australia, playing for the Cabramatta Bowling Club in New South Wales.
And of course, the Cabramatta Bowling Club has got a number of, internationals from other countries playing at that club, where some of our own players participate, along with Canadians and South Africans, and it's certainly multicultural there.
Bit of a League of Nations at Cabramatta. I know that Karen Murphy's joined them too, and another player, Joanne Waiwai, who the locals will know. She's a Christchurch player that moved over there a number of years ago. She's just recently moved there too, so yeah, it's a very, very strong club for the women and the men.
Certainly so. Peter Bellis, great New Zealand bowler, based at Cabramatta. Rowan Brassey, he's over there.
Our very own Andrew Todd.
Andrew Todd, also gold medalist at the World Bowls out of Cabramatta Club. They've got some strength, and they've got Kay Moran. Well, they're settling in.
Yeah,
hopefully.
the line of all 6 bowls are pretty good. They're just struggling with their weight at the moment, but I think the quickness of the green is a bit of an effect there with coming off a little bit slower yesterday and the day before.
Yes, certainly so. It's a very quick surface that they're playing on, the Starweed green. Speeding up day by day.
Nice line.
As Karen Murphy delivers her first bolt. Looks to be pretty much on target. Travelling well towards the jack and getting some encouragement. They're happy with this and the movement of the jack. She's capitalised on it. Look at that. Trailed the jack back for 2. It's outstanding stuff.
And hidden it. It's pretty hard to get to now.
Well, unfortunately for Reen Stratford, she's going to have to be on the draw. A lot of pressure on it, dropping a 5 on the first end. Plenty of time to recover, but she would hope things would improve quickly.
I think one Gary Lawson dropped a 5 in the first end of the World Bowls Pairs final and said to one Russell Meyer that if there's ever a time to drop a 5, it's in the first end.
Yes, certainly so. You don't want to be doing it on the 18th.
No.
Only unless you're 6 up. Two shots to the Murphy-Moran combination.
Doing good again. Come on.
Listen to the encouragement. Wants it to turn. Wants it to turn.
Finish.
Another counter there, I think.
Just in here. You've got that much over.
Just a draw. There's nothing else really, is there?
There is nothing else at all, Reen. You have only got a draw. On her forehand.
Yeah, second shot's going to be a pretty good bowl here.
Look on here.
And
Well,
one count.
the local crowd was giving her some encouragement as well. But, once again, too heavy, drifting on by. Karen Murphy, beautiful delivery. All the way so smooth. A little wider on this occasion. You see the bowl tracking down, and it's a bit heavier too. She's happy at the moment though. She's got a couple of good shots. The jack is hidden behind the bowl. We can see immediately in front of it. We talk about the time clock, and that's sitting at what we call 12 o'clock. The maroon bowl with the big white ring on it.
Do you only see the draw?
Bit of discussion happening. Reen Stratford.
No, give me a fruit. I've got to just take a metre off.
Yep, she knows what she has to do.
Yep, that's all. It's easy to say.
Reen Stratford, her last bowl on the second end. 2 and a measure down. Drawing on the forehand. Certainly looks to be better if she bends in time. She'll
House
cut
is
the
a lot
count.
better.
Let's cut the count back. Yeah. Well, looks like it may be 2. They'll take the 1-shot bowl out, put it onto the blue cloth, and the measure's coming out of the pocket.
2 shots
No,
to
agreed.
Karen Murphy.
Yep. Completion of end 2. It's 2 shots to Karen Murphy and Kay Moran. And the young ones are looking on as well. As we commence the 4th end. Low down in her stance. Very small lady. Kay Moran delivering on the backhand, the left-hander.
Yeah, she's always had that delivery for as long as I've known her, and you know, you can see it working in Australia and New Zealand, but on the heavy greens of Scotland, getting that weight forward, it looks a funny delivery for that.
I was just going to make comment
Green.
about that. On the pace of our greens, I think it's probably not too bad, and I wondered how she managed to have so much success in Scotland with it, because she's not a big lady to give a lot of force behind it on the heavy tracks overseas.
Yes, and it is all about the forward momentum on those heavy greens with a little bit of weight behind it. You know, I don't have a problem on that side of things, Terry, but you know, Kay is very, very small, and but obviously she does it very well, and she had a lot of success over in her homeland.
Good again. Great shooting, lady. Well played here. Come on. Top ball, buddy. Good play.
Well, that's what Karen Murphy's happy with. Bowls that are handy. Kay Moran. 2 bowls within 3 feet. As Hetty Bolsher delivers her second bowl.
A bit better grass here, and the weight's pretty good, so I think she'll be pretty happy with this one.
She's got to be happy with that one, all right.
Got to be happy with it.
That's great stuff from Hetty Bolsher. That's the sort of bowls that got her through to the final.
Sorry, good enough. That is good.
I was watching yesterday, Joe, when they played the semi-final against, well, Sharon Sims, who've played a lot of bowls with Sharon over the years, and this combination were absolutely delighted when they completed that game. They run out the winners by 12 points to 10. No, sorry, 19 points to 16 it was. 19 to 16, and they were just over the moon getting through to the final. So let's hope that they can carry that on.
Yeah, well, I mean, so they should be. Sharon and Mary are a great pair, and you know, they won it last year, and you know, had a lot of successes on the national scene, and with Sharon on the international scene, and Mary Campbell was in that really well-performed Asia Pacific Games team last year, won a gold and a silver, I think, in the pairs with Val Smith. So you know, it's a great scalp, but you know, it's another game and another combination that's very good. So you know, nerves shouldn't be a problem for them. They've been around the scene for a long time. Represented Auckland a number of years, so.
And we just see the replay. The last bowl from Hetty Bolsher coming in. It's the edge of the maroon bowl, comes around, drops over. Just not quite another shot, but another good bowl on the head for Reen Stratford.
Yeah, it's finished in a very good place, actually. With Karen, any sort of a weight onto that black bowl will push the jack back to Hetty's last bowl, so it's not all bad in that regard.
Well, another bowl on the head for Karen Murphy combination. Reen Stratford on an excellent track. You can see it coming towards the jack, pulling up and down a metre and a half short.
Probably forced Karen's hand a little bit too. I think she'll be playing this a little bit quicker, getting underneath Reen's last bowl.
Yes, well, she certainly seemed to play it a bit quicker. Just wondering whether she might be better to play it on the backhand. Just if she gets underneath it, her own bowl is exposed a little bit, whereas it could be protected by playing it on the backhand. She's really looking for some connection on the shot bowl to propel the jack backwards. But that idea could just well get washed out the door of Reen Stratford. Changes things. No.
Yep.
Well, did call it. Karen Murphy gone on to the backhand, trying to make some connection with the shot bowl. She's looking at it as it tracks towards the jack. She needs some connection. I don't know if it's going to turn in time. At the edge of it, no, she doesn't. Well, it just seemed to hold its line, that bowl.
Yeah, it did. It was good, well weighted. They had everything at the back, so there was no danger of going down any more than one.
I think you would have got an edge off the. Yeah, exactly.
Reen Stratford, last bowl on this, the fourth end. 8-0 down. Can she add to the count? She doesn't do so, and
They're on the board.
on the board they are.
You always feel a little bit better when you score your first one, when you've had a bit of a nightmare of the first couple of ends.
Well, could be the start of bigger things to come for Hetty Bolsher and Reen Stratford. It tends to, when one team is dominating a particular length of end, they will take the mat, but in this situation, as Joe pointed out, they're both playing the same length, and no team is really dominating on any particular length, although Murphy and Moran are up by 8 shots.
Yeah, I think the Murphy-Moran combination are getting a lot of bowls closer in general, but you know, I think that the Reen and Hetty would have to, if they win an end, change something quite dramatically, just to try and throw them off their game a little bit.
Yep, top call from Joe Edwards, and that's exactly what needs to happen. They need to change the situation. First of all, they need to score. Bowls such as that from Hetty Bolsher won't help them. They're playing the 6th end, 1/3 of the way through the game. Of course, the game being played to 18 ends. May finish sooner, of course, if one team is ahead by more than 7 points. Of course, the maximum you can score on any end is 6 shots. So at this stage, Murphy and Moran are certainly looking to try and finish the game a little bit earlier than the 18 ends. If they continue in this format at 9-1 up, they will certainly be able to do that. But Hetty Bolsher, she decides that I need to start getting something close for my skip.
Yeah, it certainly does make the job of a skip a lot easier if the lead is on, but I think also a skip shows how good they are by, if your lead is struggling, just to play a couple of big bowls early on, just not necessarily getting the shot, but second shot here and there and killing the odd end. It certainly brings a lot more confidence into the lead, and you just hope that they certainly come onto their game.
Well, I think that was evidence last week when we saw the final of the men's triples, and Shane Sincock played some magnificent bowls at crucial stages in that game where he either killed the end or drew the shot, and that brought confidence back into particularly his lead, Lance Pascoe, who had a struggled time, and he came back home in the final couple of ends and helped win that game for them. So you did correct, Joe, if you know, the skip's there to play the pressure shots, and we see the previous bowl from Kay Moran coming in. Look at this. That is why she was in the Scottish International World Bowls player. Karen Murphy on the backhand, just looking to get a bit of cover. There's 2 bowls from the New Zealand combination past the jack. Wants a little bit of protection, and look at this. Can't quite see it from Kay Moran, but we can now. She's just passed the black bowl. There's another black bowl way down the bottom of our screen. Can't quite see. It's Reen Stratford playing with weight. Now,
Go back, eh?
I haven't seen a lot of bowls from Reen Stratford over the years, but on a surface such as this, I think you need to be a bit more aggressive. The run shot, Joe, they can be pretty fickle.
Yeah, it certainly can, and you know, a lot of greens you got to respect them for what they are, and you know, some greens you might have to throw away just little shots that are just too hard to play, and I generally go for the the rather quicker shot than the yard-on shot on these kinds of greens. And you know, I think it is a confidence shot. If you hit a couple early, you know, it certainly can help your draw game as well.
Well, 2 down, 2 misses, and that's exactly what's happening with Reen Strafford at the moment. And
It's not going to go straight back,
it's
is it?
a
No, it's not.
situation where she's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
5 ends gone in the game so far, 9-1 down, and 2 down on this particular end. She doesn't want to be dropping too many more, putting herself on the back foot.
Yeah, even though, I mean, after the first end where they dropped to 5, it's only been 1s and 2s. It's a constant 1 and 2 over a number of ends, and you do start second guessing yourself, thinking, you know, when are we going to score? This is starting to get a little bit embarrassing, and that. But you know, just need once again play a big bowl now, and it will certainly gain the confidence of Hetty for the next end.
Reen Strafford delivering the run shot.
I'm still under it.
Still under it. Well, we heard it from her. We were seeing it ourselves now. She was under it all right. It's 2 more shots she has conceded. It's 11-1 to Karen Murphy and Kay Moran.
Sometimes also, you know, you've got 3 bowls as a skip. You have a couple of runs on your backhand. You know, and if you're going through the same gap or missing it narrow, sometimes it is better to change your hand, have a go on the forehand, and you know, your concentration levels have to be higher because, you know, you're setting yourself a different line, and I think sometimes it works wonders.
Beautiful blue sky here.
And it is a great club here at the Henderson Bowling Club. My father actually played here a number of years ago. It's quite nice to see his name up on the honours board, so I'll have to text him later and let him know I saw it.
Oh, it's great, Joe. It's great.
Not much over. Try.
Hetty Bolsher delivering her first bowl. Be keen to get the scoring. 13-1 down. Maybe it might be unlucky for the Australian combination on the 13.
Check on that, mate.
They need to get bowls closer than that if they want to get them off it, or want to leave them there.
Yeah, better. Well played here. Great shot, Anne.
Yes, you can see Kay Moran studying her bowl as it heads towards the jack, and it's got a perfectly good reason to study it too, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's got an amazing concentration on every bowl. She must go home absolutely tired each night, but it just shows that she thinks about it. She looks at her line, she locks it in, and it's that same thing every time. The delivery is the same every time, which is what we're trying to do.
Yes, it's certainly great to see a player who's applying so much to her game.
Again.
Hetty Walsh is just struggling at the present time. Not happy with her bowls. She's played a lot better than that. She certainly played a lot better in the lead-up games to this final.
Yeah, she certainly can, and you know, we've seen it right through the week how well she's been playing, and you know, if she can just get a couple of close now, the confidence level's going to come back, and you know, we might see a different second half of the game.
Well played. Good.
Let's hope so.
You probably round it, but it's a slight, put a bit more on. Just sit it.
Well, Hetty Walsh is now playing with the weighted shot. Looks to
She's
be
got
pretty
it.
much on target. Oh. Well. When it's not going for you, it's not going for you. And that was a fantastic bowl that she played. Her skip asked for it. She delivered. And the jack going back, if we can.
Yeah, it's a great hit by Hetty. You know, sometimes that's all you need as a lead, is a bit of a larrup at it, and you know, good hit.
Yeah,
She
we
hit
look at
it
it
well.
here. We'll see it again. It's connection, hits her own bowl, back up the track again.
Jammed on her back bowl, but gives the skip an opportunity to get to it now, so it's not all bad.
Yep, certainly opened it up a bit. Karen Murphy.
Looking good. Basket there. Just around my ball.
As we can see it from Reen Stratford's point of view, looking down the green to where she has to go. Presently a couple down.
Good ball here.
Wow, number one.
Well done. Great stuff, Reen Stratford.
Okay, now back to the question.
Karen Murphy chasing her bowl halfway up the green, following it intently. One down.
Not sure
Needs
whether
to get
she's
up
there.
past it. Is she up far enough? No, she's not.
It gives Reen Stratford a really good opportunity here.
Yep, it certainly does. Reen Stratford with her second bowl.
She's got good grass again.
She's certainly right out where the
Little bit
bowls are
quicker
coming
this
back
time,
from.
but
Karen Murphy running back to the mat.
Yeah.
Karen Murphy, the blue attire against the blue sky. One down. Looks to be playing with some weight. Has she got connection on the jack? Just misses.
yeah,
Well-
I don't know whether she was after the jack of the bowl there.
Well,
I
I
think the bowl
think
was
she-
worth a few more.
Probably would have preferred the bowl, I think. But the option was the jack. Reen Stratford.
Yeah, good if she could add one here. You know, it's a bit of a bonus bowl. Get them off that one. Triple the score. A great weight. Could be.
Definitely got one.
Just the one.
It is too. It's just the one. Reen Stratford, well, doubled her score.
And running up the rink to have a bit of a word to her lead, I think, yeah, it's a great opportunity to change the length of the jack here.
As we just see the last Australian bowl that was played, Karen Murphy looking for the jack back to make her bowl where back in behind, perhaps count, but I think more keen on getting the black bowl out there, having 2 second shots. Karen Murphy heads over and has a drink from the water bottle.
And it's good to see the Hedy Bolsher changing the length here.
And as night follows day, it was Kay Moran that threw the jack after Hedy Bolsher put it in the ditch, and it's gone back exactly where it has been for the last 9 ends. Midway down the green, and this is where Kay Moran is loving it at the present time.
Great start.
And this is the reason why.
And it just shows the importance of, as a lead, being able to throw the jack. It can really change the game.
Yes, it certainly does.
Looking good, Hetty. Nice ball here.
Bolsher,
Pretty close here.
Away.
It's a very good correction.
very, very good. And he is having a beer, of course, Sean O'Neill. And just behind him, the winner of last week's triples final, Shane Sincock. We just see that when Hedy Bolsher drew the shot then, it touched the jack, that her skip, Reen Stratford, put a little chalk mark on it. That just indicates if the bowl does go in the ditch, it's still a live bowl. It hasn't got a chalk mark on it, it's removed from the field of play. That one will stay live as long as it's within the boundaries of the rink and in the ditch. Needs to add to it now.
Looking good again, Hetty.
Since she's changed her hand coming this particular way, Joe, she's getting a lot closer bowls.
She certainly is. You know, it's sometimes we get a bit stubborn, I think, and you know, you think, oh, well, I've played 6 or 7 or 8 ends down here. Am I willing to change my hand? But you know, I think if you've got enough confidence to do it, it certainly does help your game, because you really, you know, your confidence and your concentration. You know, you've got to start a game pretty much, and yeah, you're just learning with each bowl rather than throwing them up and, you know, then getting affected by the wind and things like that and getting frustrated by it.
Push that.
Certainly so.
Coming back. Outside, it's good. Or inside. Come on, Kate. Great shot.
Ah, look at this. Look at this from Kay Moran.
Yeah, would you make your own luck, eh, when you're playing good?
You certainly do. She gave the bowler a chance. She wasn't going to be short. She's wandering up the green afterwards. Having a little bit of a nod of the head and a high five with her partner. That's Karen Murphy, of course. She's happy about it. She was 2 down. We can see the replay from Kay Moran coming down. It's her own bowl. She used it, got the inside edge of it, winded over towards the jack. 1 shot. Thank you very much. Stratford looking to play with some weight. She's just, I think, playing that a little bit quick. The old story, when the green is so fast, the bowl is not taking much of a curve when you're playing it with weight. You go down a tighter line. It's travelling across the quick greens at a quicker pace.
Come on. Away you go, Simon.
Karen Murphy looking to add on the forehand.
Come on, babe.
Does she come all the way?
Just do it.
Yeah, I think she just needs to drop her weight a little bit, get inside, get in between the 2 black bowls. She's on line for the shot bowl, or you know, just get onto her green disc bowl there to the right, and they could also head onto the jack too.
Certainly does. She's got options coming off the edge of her own green bowl. She did drop her weight, and I think that's about similar to the weight that she should be looking at playing.
Better weight, lot better weight.
Yeah. But, just played it too wide on that occasion. Karen Murphy. Second bowl. Presently holds the shot. You can see it there, nestled just behind the jack. Karen Murphy looking to add to it. The bowl's coming home now. Is it
Very
another
good
shot?
weight. Very
It's
good
going to
weight
be
again.
close. Don't know if it's counting. It's just the one still.
Yeah, it's just wasn't.
No, Green Stratford. Can you make the necessary change?
Can't find that hole.
Well, connection with the front bowl.
Only a yard over.
They will go through. No changes at all. Karen Murphy. Last bowl. 10th end. Leading by 13-2.
I think Murph's looking to play a bit of a shot here. A little bit of movement on the jack. Get in between those 2 green bowls. Touch the jack to bring the other 2 in on the left
Okay,
there.
we just briefly saw the 2 black bowls there in front. She wants to get some movement of the jack. Any movement of the jack back, a couple of feet is certainly going to be in her favour. Looks to be
under,
tight. Coming
yeah.
across, you need to come between the 2 bowls that we see there. Got 1 shot. Stratford will take out, Hetty Bolsh will take out 1 shot, and the tape measure will be out. Put the block part of Spectators appreciating the great play from Karen Murphy, the Australian international, and of course Kay Moran, the Scottish international. Full display of their skills here at Henderson today.
Track's good for your next one.
Well, that's one of the rare times we've seen Kay Moran not study her bowl until it's finished. Turned around and walked away, but probably a pretty good reason for it.
This is when Hetty really needs to nail it. Just to show Kay that, if you're going to let me in, I'm going to benefit from it.
Come on, Eddie. Come on, Newland.
Pretty good to there. Great shot, Emma. It's well played. Good shot.
An improvement from Kay Moran. Very poor first bowl. But, once again, playing to that length of end, Joe, that has dominated the game so far.
Certainly, and why would they change?
Exactly.
Going pretty good at this length, and
Yes, and Hetty Walsh is very uncomfortable here today. Irene Stratford not totally excited about it either. These girls are far better than what they're putting on today.
yeah, they are. It's a little bit unfortunate, but that's a final for you.
Come on, right onto it.
Yes, the pressures of finals can certainly tell on some people, and when you're up against classy players like Karen Murphy and Kay Moran, that becomes very difficult, especially when you're 15-2 behind.
Not far away, Hetty. Get round that ball, though.
And unfortunately for Hetty, it goes from bad to worse. Yes, at 15-2, we could well see an early finish in this game. Remember, we played at 18 ends, but if it comes impossible for the team, as we see the last bowl coming in from Kay Moran and Karen Murphy, it gives it a token clap. Scratch of the ear, says well done. Right? It's just going too easy for us. Karen Murphy delivering on the forehand, holding 3 shots at the moment. All sorts of problems for Irene Stratford.
Come on. Stop.
She's calling come on, and then she's calling stop.
Just running at me up.
Irene Stratford looking to rescue the situation. Looks to be very heavy, Joe. Well, this is a team really struggling, isn't it?
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but the old nerves start a little bit. I think the further the game goes on, that they need to score, and they need to score in this end. So a little bit of pressure on.
Yes, this could be an absolute blowout of a final. 18 ends they do play, scheduled length of the game, but when it becomes impossible for a team to win, the game is called off. At the moment, we've got a lot of maroon bowls surrounding the jack. As Irene Stratford delivers again, looks to be awfully narrow. You see it travelling down there, she'll be wanting some connection to rub off that, but
Just out of curiosity, am I too
dear oh me.
Bit of tape. I fancied the last one did. The could.
It's becoming a little bit of embarrassment for the Newland ladies. Karen Murphy says, I want to keep the pressure on. I want to draw another shot.
This is better.
Come on, yeah, well done.
Look at this. Look at this. Well, to be quite honest, there's plenty of room still for Reen Stratford, but she's in an awful situation. She's definitely 4 shots down.
Yeah, she
Definitely 3, probably.
needs to draw the shot now.
On the forehand. Depends on the weight of this bowl. Should be going away, but the weight will just hold it enough to reduce the count anyway.
She's cut a lot out here, so it was a very good shot. 5 down, possibly only 1 now.
Yes, she was in all sorts of problems there, Reen Stratford. Going down a very tight line.
Youngest here today.
Looks
So
like the
hands up
black
if
bowl
you're under 85.
might be the second
Put your
shot.
hand up if you're under 85. Keep your hand up if you're under 85. 75, 65, 50, under 50, 20. Oh, under 20. And hard. Under 15. How old are you, 3?
And it's just the
9.
1 shot.
Yeah, very good shot by Reen Stratford. You know, 4 or 5 down there, it's pretty much the game over. But you know, still in it. 14 behind, 7 to play. Needs to score now.
Well, reduced the count, Reen Stratford, but is failing to score herself, and that's going to be the most important thing at the moment. Karen Murphy leading by 16 to 2. Of course, Karen Murphy celebrating another birthday just 5 days ago. Looking to celebrate that with a win here in the New Zealand Open Pairs. Kay Moran has proceeded to do what she has done in the past, and that is throw the jack at a mid-length. A bit heavy with her first bowl, but nevertheless 16-2 up now with 7 ends to go. The opposition need to start doing the sums, and Reen Stratford and Hetty Bolsh will be saying, well, 7 more ends, 14 behind. We only need to score 2 on each end from now on in. It's going to be a hard task. They've only scored 2 in the last 11 ends. But they've got to think positive about it.
You certainly do, and you're not out of it until, you know, it's mathematically impossible. But, you know, they really do need to score this end, and once again, change the length of the jack, see if they can throw the opposition off their weight control, and, you know, try and string a couple of ends together by scoring, you know, a couple here and a couple there.
Yes, it's becoming very important for them. There's not a lot of time left in this game, and if they fail to score on this end, they're putting all sorts of unnecessary pressure on themselves. Well, it hasn't gone for them either, has it really? Any movement of the jack has gone against them, and once again, Hetty Bolsh with her second bowl.
I think it's a game of, you know, you do make your own luck, and if you're playing good, the little bits of luck seem to go your way, and if you're playing a bit on the rubbishy side, things tend to go against you, and you know, it's not good psychologically, but you just got to keep plugging away.
Just need to tickle that jack. Hit the shot.
Hetty Bolsh studying her last bowl and fails to make connection again. Moment, the 1 shot. Well, the up-and-comers in the sport, studying it here today. Hopefully they don't follow some of the ones that are playing in this game and have a look at the international players and say, that's where I want to be. Karen Murphy playing her first bowl. Heavy, but she's going to be happy at 16-2 up. Encouragement here from Hetty Bolsher as Reen Stratford looks to be tracking towards the jack. Can she do some disturbance of it here? Well, it really hasn't been going for them. That was a very, very good effort then from Reen Stratford, but unfortunately for her,
Once again, a couple of seconds though, so you know, she needs to hit one of these shots, roll it back a couple of 3 times and stay for 3. Hey, grab that mat and away we go.
that's all it is. Karen Murphy studying this. Look at her studying this. She says, I might have some change in my mind. Well,
Great shot.
outstanding, outstanding. Opportunities it was there for Reen Stratford, but well, Karen Murphy put paid to that, and now we see the weighted shot. And unfortunately for Reen Stratford, we can see it already heading away.
Go again, draw over there again, huh?
That's the bowl we saw from Karen Murphy. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, perfect way to gain. You know, bowl is counting, doesn't play them too heavy, and made 2 out of it.
And that's what it was all about there, really, wasn't it? It was a weight control situation where she just sat back the bowl, stayed there herself.
Dead right. You know, you're not going to do a lot of damage if you get your own as well. It's still going to hang around, and you know, it is a hard shot to play, but if you can play it, it really is a good one to play.
And anything could happen, couldn't it? The wind and the line just making it so difficult. Yeah.
Discussion between Reen Stratford and Hetty Bolsher is, what are we going to do now?
Yeah, I think she's got to hit it, hope it kills, and start again.
Okay, Joe Edwards, the expert analysis. Let's see if Reen Stratford will take advice from what she has to say. Lining on the mat, looks to be on the backhand, playing with weight, and once again we see it going down, crossing over the centre line and nowhere near the target. Well, she has failed with all of her run shots today, Reen Stratford. She certainly hasn't been able to adjust the radar at all. And now we see it, 2 shots to Karen Murphy.
It's a shot that she plays very well as well. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there, but
here's another hat courtesy of the Trust Open. How's that, all right? And I think the Comfort Pro as well for the
and it's not as if it's a situation where Reen is not used to this type of green. I mean, she's just down the road at New Lynn.
yeah, dead right. Pressure plays part on it. You know, everyone so differently, and you know, the need to score. A little bit of pressure, the heart rate goes up a little bit, and you know, your delivery might change a little bit of a bounce here, a little bit of a scuff there, and it throws the bowl off its run pretty easy. So, you know, it's all about, I suppose, keeping your cool, keeping your concentration, and just going through the processes of what you've done a million times before.
There we are, the summary from Joe Edwards.
Easy to say.
Easy to say, you did correct, but Hetty Bolsher. Come on, Hetty. We need to get something from you. Your skip needs your help. 2/3 of the way through this game. There's only 6 ends remaining, and at the moment, the Murphy combination is out by 16 points, which is at least 2 ends. One might say that they could finish early. So this game may only have another 4 ends if it keeps on going at the same scoring rate.
Come on, you close. Great shooting. Yep. Come on.
Track is under that, Hanson. Just a metre over.
It'd be interesting to do a bit of an analysis on the jack length that Kay Moran's thrown, and just to see the variance. I don't think there would have been a yard or two between the length.
I think you're exactly right. We've seen some excellent jack throwing from Kay Moran. It's been quite outstanding at the well picked up there, Joe, because there wouldn't be more than a yard for every time that the jack has been thrown, and distance-wise. And the one opportunity that Hetty Bolsher had when throwing the jack and changing the length, she threw it in the ditch. And as we've said, it's one of the important ingredients of being a good lead in pairs or fours. And unfortunately, they failed on that occasion. Who knows what might have happened if she managed to be able to change that mat length? They may not have been in the predicament they are now. And we've seen her really struggle at the moment, particularly from Hetty Bolsher, who has got absolutely no idea and has lost her confidence. And it's a shame for her, because we know here in New Zealand that she is a far better bowler than this, and her record in the past has shown that.
Yeah, we certainly do, and I think it starts getting to you. You start putting more pressure on yourself, and you start trying harder, and it, it goes worse. So I sometimes think you've just got to stop thinking. You've thrown the bowls up a million times before, and you know what to do, and just trust yourself. It's a real easy thing to say. It's a hard thing to do, but when you are struggling, I think that's a really good go back to the basics and go through your processes.
Yes, and no doubt she'll go home tonight and think about that and say, well, I need to put it out of my mind, because in around about 2 weeks' time I'm going to be probably competing in the New Zealand National Championships, and they just start in a couple of weeks' time on the 3rd of January, 2nd of January. So there we see one of Hetty Bolsher's bowls away up the green now. That is a terrible bowl. And I might say that Reen Stratford drops a few on this end, could be getting very close to pulling the pin on this game.
This looks good. That's a better weight. Come on. Yep.
Karen Murphy
That's
draws
added another
another
one.
shot. Yep, and we can just see it being surrounded by the maroon bowls. Reen Stratford. Can she rescue the situation? She needs to get past that maroon bowl. She's passed it all right, but she's passed it with far too much weight. Look at it drift on. She finished some 3 or 4 metres past the jack. Murphy, last bowl, holding at least 3, probably 4 shots.
Good.
Looking to make it more.
Yep, some more.
It's the awkward thing for Stratford now is those bowls that are sitting out on the wing are just making it harder for her. What she's actually trying to do is make the adjustment of just coming underneath them, and when she wants to go around them, she thinks she has to put a little bit more weight on. Becoming very difficult for her, Joe.
Yeah, it certainly has. It's not a nice sight to look at when you're looking down there and you're seeing both hands pretty much tied up on the draw. You need to start making shots up, but your weight needs to be really critical when you're going a little bit tighter. But
Well, how has she fared? Oh, dear me. She's reduced the count, I'm sure, but how much has she reduced it by?
in normal situations, it's a great shot because she's cut it down by quite a lot. But unfortunately, in the position that they're in, they need to score.
Stay after the game and join us for the presentations. They will take place immediately following this women's
In the context of this game, as the Australians continue to score and they pick up another single on the 13th end and go out to a 19-2 lead. 5 ends to play, but I'm sure that we won't be seeing 5 more ends in this game. The final of the women's triple in the New Zealand Trust Open.
Very good shot by Reen Stratford. 4 or 5 down there. If they dropped the 4 or 5 there, that certainly was game over. But during second shot in those conditions, very good.
delivers her first bowl. Jack to that same length again, and look at this. Meter past the Jack.
Coming good, Hetty. Good one there.
Down.
First bowl, Hetty Bolsham, perfect weight. It's cut across the face of the Jack. Kay Moran delivers her second bowl.
So, yeah. Just a yard, that's all. It's good.
Hetty Bolsham, the second bowl. Got the green this time, but put on the weight.
She's struggling to put both things together, the line and the weight. It is a hard thing to do, or the hardest thing to do in the game, but you need to be pairing them up.
Yes, and unfortunately for Hetty Bolsham, the Newland bowler has been unable to really put enough bowls on the head, close to the Jack for her skipper. That's the shot itself. Yep. Hetty Bolsham delivering. Oh, she doesn't look to be happy again, or was it just a fly that sort of wafted across in front of her?
Slow anytime.
Tell her to slow down. Well, struggle once again. The 14th end being played. Remember, as I said, it's up to 18 ends, but at the present time, the Murphy combination, 17 shots ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ends, including this one to play, which means the Bolsham combination need to pick up at least a 3. Murphy adding to the count. What can Reen Stratford do? She's been under huge amounts of pressure throughout this game. Hasn't really had too much going for her at any particular stage, but as you said earlier, Joe, you create your own luck, and unfortunately they haven't played well enough.
No, it's, you know, and you don't know why it happens. You go along in tournaments and you're going along really good, and all of a sudden, you know, one game or a part of a game, you know, you just seem to lose it, and no rhyme or reason. You don't feel like you're doing anything different, but you know, I think the pressure that the Moran and Murphy combination has put onto them has certainly contributed into the way the two have played, because we all know that they can play the game. They can play the game really well, so you know, just a little bit of pressure and a little bit off your game, you get a score like we're seeing today.
And their record and performances throughout the lead-up games to this final have shown that they have the ability, and disappointingly for them, they've been able to produce that same form here in the final.
And yours or not?
Still at least one shot to the Murphy combination. Reen Stratford was 4 down anyway.
Draw across the front of the Jack, just a draw shot. It's all right.
Karen Murphy, her last ball on this 14th end. Looking to draw another shot.
You know, they really haven't been under a lot of pressure all game, but in saying that, they've really played well as a pair. Kay set it up for Karen, and when Karen's needed to play a couple of big shots, she's played them, and perfect combination in a pairs game.
Yes, I think it's a common known fact that Peers has generally been acknowledged as a leads game, and if the lead is putting the bowls, as we said, way back in about the first or second end, handy to the jack, then it makes life easier for the skip. And Karen Murphy really has very seldom had to play the pressure bowl. Reen Stratford with her last bowl. Going down, heavy again. It's a bit of the same old as Reen Stratford takes out at least one shot.
Yeah, lovely line again by Reen. Just that yard away again. It seems to be, you know, hitting both of them a bit.
Our lollipop man getting the red, this one ready again, and he's got two at least, and it may well be three. I think it is. It's definitely three. Well, that's a case of hung, drawn, and quartered. 22-2, 4 ends to play. 20 points difference, Joe. They need to score 4 ends of 5.
Yeah, they need at least a 5 in this end to keep the game going.
Realistically, might have been shaking hands.
Well, look, you know, it's not over until it's over. Hey, you know, play another end, anything could happen. Pick up a 5, pick up a 6.
Yes, well,
your mood goes up, their mood goes down, you know. You've seen it happen.
Yeah, we have seen it happen, but I don't think the miracle's going to happen today.
Yeah, realistically, I can't see Karen and Kay dropping a big number here. Just consistency has been too good.
Well, the situation is now that Reen Stratford has to score at least, what, a 2? A 2.
I think it's at least a 5, isn't it?
No, she scores
4
a
ends to
2.
go.
She goes 3 6s after that.
18.
Yep.
Oh, tough ask.
Tough ask, yep. We haven't even seen her score a 2 yet. Well, she has scored 2, but they've both been in singles.
Stop there soon. Ball, Harry.
Just yeah, Marty.
Kay Moran never relinquishes any of it at all. Look at her. Like she was in the first end, following those bowls as they trip towards the jack, studies it the whole way.
Yeah, she really has played well in this final. Set it up really well for Karen, and you know, realistically, Karen hasn't had to do too much. Just add a few shots here, cover a few shots there. It's a great position for a skip to be in.
You're exactly correct. It is. It's a magnificent position. I think the people that are watching this at home today will learn that really, if you've got a good lead in a pairs game, life can be pretty cruisy.
Stop. Yep, you're in. Well done.
Well, the 3 bowls.
Change your hand if you want, Harry. It's just drawn through
on what
either way.
could possibly be the last end of the match. It certainly will be if Karen Murphy scores. That's what we would call in good old-fashioned hiding. Come on, Eddie.
Well done.
Come on. No, she's just unable to get there with it. Karen Murphy. A crowd that's remained, still seeing the delight and the skill of Moran and Murphy. Quiet otherwise as the local girls have been unable to match their skills.
Peter Mike, come through it.
Yeah, that's pretty much the whole story summed up. You know, they haven't lived up to how they've been playing the whole week, and Karen and Kay have just continued how they've been going. So, you know, they'll be disappointed. But, you know, make a final. There's been a number of great pairs that have entered and they're qualified in this tournament. So, you know, it's a great effort to get to the final. Sure, they'll be disappointed, but there's next year and they'll be back again, I'm sure.
Yes, I'm sure they will bounce back from this.
Yep. Run. Come on.
Karen Murphy.
That's good there.
Still ever the competitor, eh?
Yeah.
Look at it, 22-2 up, and they're still urging every bowl that they play towards the jack.
You might be counting.
Yeah.
Karen Murphy chases her bowl and knows that if there is no change, that this could well be the end of the pairs final. The first prize of $2,000 going to the Australian pair. They've definitely, I think, got that in the pocket. Here's Reen Stratford. Delivers what could possibly be her last bowl as well.
I think it's going to be the last bowl that Reen delivers in this pairs game. It's going to be a pretty good one, though.
Well, it's not a bad one to finish on, but it's one shot to the Australian combination. You may as well shake hands, girls. They sit and have a bit of discussion about it, but not sure as to why they don't shake hands. 23-2, can only get possible 18 shots.
I think you'll find they will shake hands.
Yep, they have. They've shaken hands, and it's the Australian combination of Karen Murphy and Kay Moran that's convincingly taken out the New Zealand Open. The pairs final here against Reen Stratford and Hedy Bolsher. Convincing win and some outstanding bowls from the international combination.
And Reen Stratford. And your winners of the Trust New Zealand Open Women's Pairs.
Well, Karen and Kay, congratulations. When you look at trying to grind another team into the turf, you certainly did that. That five of the first end, that certainly set you up.
Certainly set the platform for the game, I think, and Kay played solidly all throughout the game, and you know, we were very relentless, I think, and just you know, we really just wanted to enjoy it and not think about the ends as they progressed along.
You don't look like you enjoy it, cuz watching that look on your face, you're willing every ball. There's such an intense concentration.
Oh, I've always been like that. I don't think I could ever change.
Well, you know, you two are a pretty dynamic pair. What's next for you?
Yeah, it's actually one of the first pairs tournament we've ever played in, so I think it's a nice round off for the year for us. It's been a busy year, and a couple of weeks off would be nice before Christmas, and then heading into 2009.
And the cash won't be too bad before Christmas, will it?
Yeah, fantastic. Perfect.
Well, ladies, happy Christmas. Well done. You're the pairs champions.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
All right, the 2Ks, Karen and Kay, the New Zealand Trust Open Pairs champions in 2008. Don't forget, just before the new year dawns, we have the men's pairs from Henderson.